Good morning. Good morning.
That's good. That's good.
Right. All right. So let's begin with the other concepts. Like yesterday, we were talking about working directory, staging area, and local repository. Right. Today, let's proceed and look into other concepts. First, I'm going to show a simple and interesting scenario, which would also help us revise the concepts we learned yesterday. I'm creating a new file here, file3.txt. Okay. So, can you help me? This is another advantage of VS Code Editor. Like it will show you when you keep your cursor, it will show you where is your file. You can see like, do you see that? It is showing like it's untracked. So can you tell me where is this file now?
We're working directly.
It's in working directory. You can confirm that with git status command. It tells you it's an untracked file. It's in working directory. That's a new file. So what should we do to track it? What is the next part?
Add it.
Adding to the
Add it.
staging.
So git add file3 so that the file will be added to staging area. Again, here you can see A indicates it's added to index added. Do you see that? Also, when you see the status, it tells you changes to be committed. So where is this file now?
Staging area.
Staging area. And now like I want to move them to local repository. So git commit. When we commit, whatever in the staging area will be committed. So -m, let's say local changes or whatever. Let's say local changes. Right, done. And now you can see like it shows like it's clean, like everything is in local repository. Good. It's working as expected, and this is what we learned yesterday. Now let us see, let's suppose I'm modifying this file again. Okay, I added some line. So now can you tell me, is this file having any unstaged changes or not?
Yes. It will be in the local directory before the stage. It goes to that.
Is this having any unstaged changes? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, obviously it's having unstaged, not untracked. Untracked is different from unstaged. Untracked is for the first time it will show you, but this is having unstaged changes, like the modifications which were there in the working directory. So if you want to see the unstaged changes of the file, git diff file name will show you unstaged changes. See here, right? This is the line that was unstaged. So earlier this was the change, but now these are the changes. Right? It was showing like it is having unstaged changes. Is this file also having staged changes at this point?
Yes, the first line is the stage thing, right?
Staged in the sense it is in the staging area, not committed, but everything
Yeah.
is committed, right? So it is not having any staged changes at this point.
Okay.
Like it was committed, right? Whatever stage were committed. Okay, but it is having unstaged changes. Okay, I want to stage it. What is the command to stage the changes?
Git add.
Git add. So when I add it, and if you see, now do you think it is having staged changes? I mean unstaged changes? See, git diff will show you unstaged changes, no unstaged changes, but it is having staged changes. Got the difference, everyone?
Can you repeat
Yes.
once more? I'm a bit
Like,
confused.
yeah, sure, no problem. See, I have made some modification. Okay, this one. And whenever I make a modification, it is unstaged. Unstaged changes can be seen with this command, right? At this point, when I run the staged flag, there were no staged changes. Only unstaged changes were there. But later on, I staged it. Okay, let me show you again. Git status changes to be committed. I'm committing it. File modifications. Okay, done. Now this file is staged and committed. Now I am adding some changes. Now, is this file having unstaged changes or not? Unstaged modifications or not? Unstaged
Yes.
modifications can be seen with the command git diff file name. Unstaged changes were there. Is it having staged changes? No staged changes because whatever in the staging were committed already. All of them were in the repository. So nothing was there in the staging area. So it will show you it is not having any staged changes. It is having only unstaged changes. Are we good?
Yeah, now it's
Yeah,
okay.
now is it clear? Now, okay, it's having some unstaged changes. So I want to stage them. So I'm committing this. File modified again. Sorry, I'm committing without adding. You should add.
Yeah, we have to add first.
Yeah. So I am doing a add and commit. Git commit. Okay, that is the way. Minus AM, not EMA. It should be minus A, add and commit. Right? So all good.
Okay,
Now,
in one AM, we can add and commit at the same time. Is it?
yeah, yesterday we discussed this, right? When you have a like a stage changes, you can add and commit. But if it is untracked, you have to do it separately only. See, this is the last time I'm adding some line. Okay. Now I want to check the unstaged changes. Yes, it has got it. Okay. Now I want to commit. Okay. I can commit, but I'm not committing it later. I'll commit that later, but I'm adding one more line here. This is having unstaged change, right? Okay. Let me first add it. Git add file 3. Okay. Now it's not having any unstaged, it's having staged. Okay, now I'm adding again some changes. Now, if you see, the file is having unstaged changes as well as staged changes. Do you see that? Am I making sense? Simple logic. Some changes I have done git add, and then again made some modifications. Obviously, it will have staged changes and unstaged changes also. Is this point clear for all of you? Simple logic that after making some modifications, I have added that, like git add, and then again made some modifications. Obviously, it will have both staged and unstaged, which is a simple logic and simple use case, which we see regularly. Is this much clear for all of you?
Ma'am, I'm a little confused about the color code at the last part of your screen. How is the differentiation done? Like you added the line good day there. That's the only thing that's unstaged as of now, right?
But these changes were not committed, right? So it would show as such, like it was showing like we have removed this and added these lines.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just ignore that. Understand the process or the concept, like what happened here. We made some changes after this, right? After committing, we made changes again. So it was shown with git diff, right? After
Okay.
again, we have staged something. So the file
Okay.
at this point is having both staged and unstaged changes.
Okay.
And also, yeah, please.
Ma'am, the editing can be done whether it is in staged or whatever places, no? Not necessarily we need to stage and then do the editing. It can be done at any places.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
You can do at any point of time. That's why we are seeing this. We made the file, we edited the file as per the requirements. So after some commits, after some adding to staging area, I made some commits. So they were shown as unstaged. Unstaged, and these were staged. Right? At this point of time, if you see the status command, the same file would be seen under changes to be committed means where is the file?
Staging area.
Staging area. Changes
Staging area.
not staged means where is this file?
Working directory.
Working
Like
directory.
working
Means
directory.
at this point, the file is shown under both working directory and staging area. So you shouldn't get confused. This could be the simple logic, simple use case like we just discussed. Got it? So sometimes whenever you're doing hands-on, you see the same file name and you might get confused. But this is as simple as that. It's pretty much possible. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So there are chances the file could be both under staging area and working directory, and this could be the simple scenario. Like after some changes, you might have staged it, and then again some modifications might have been done, right? So to keep the changes committed and all, you can do git commit -a add and commit, or else you can have to do git add and then commit separately. Because it's not a new file, we can do this way like we learned in the last class. Text file, for example.
It's
Done.
always safe to do that commit -am, which will do the both activities so that we will have a edited, updated version always.
Yep. Now, if you see the status, it should show like working directory is clean. Simple use case. That could be a tricky at times. So if you have this clarity, right? Okay, good to go. Any questions in this part? Okay. So, like we were looking into modifying the file or creating a file, let's look into deleting the file. Let's suppose I want to delete this file 3. So git rm file 3. Okay, simply removing from CLI is rm will delete. That's a Linux command. But here I am doing git rm file 3. So what it does, let's see, check the status. See, like I told you, right? Git works with respect to changes. Anything is a change. So you need to even commit that change. So what you have to do, git commit -am and then like a file deleted, some message like this. Right? Done. If you see the status, it's clean. Also, you don't see the file. Perfect. Right? This is a way to delete a file. But let us suppose I want to delete some file only from my working directory, but not from the local repository. Means if you see here, these files are present, git ls files. These files are present both in the staging area and local repository. Now I want to keep the file in this working directory, but I want to delete only from local repository. Why you should do that? First of all, what is the use case? Why do you need it?
I think to get this space so that we can have a fresher file system created.
I'm repeating again. I want this file present in this folder git demo, but it shouldn't be present in local repository and working directory. The reason could be this file. Let's take file 1 example. File 1 might be a log file, or else it is some notes I have taken for the project. It's a personal documentation I have made for the project. So I want this file, but I don't want to put it in a local repository or working directory. Right? So how to delete the file only from working directory? Git rm cache. And the file name, let's say file2.txt. So if you see, file is still here. But if you see this, see file is removed from staging area and local repository. Okay, and if you see the status, it tells you changes to be committed, right? Like you made a deletion, so commit the changes. File2 deleted from local, not from the working directory. Do you see the difference between git rm and git rm cache? Could you identify the difference?
Yes.
Right, earlier the file is completely deleted from this folder, from the working directory as well. But now the file is still in the working directory. Only the changes like, only it is removed from staging area and local repository. Okay, now you have the file in the working and
It won't give the result for the Git ls files also.
no, it will not, right?
How to identify whether the file is in working directory?
Are you joining the class today, Sauvik?
No, the
Okay,
third
we
day.
discussed, right? Git status will show you.
Yeah, that
That
that only that with yeah that's only like Git status will show us whether the file is in staging area or in working directory. I just thought like before that only we get to know that in that message only that it was in working directory.
yes, this message tells you where the file is. So now the file is deleted from from local repository and staging area, but it is still in the working directory with the Git RM cache. But Git status is showing us untracked file. Why are we seeing this message? Why are we getting this message? Yeah.
Because it is
Mm,
just present in the working directory and not in the staging area and
Yeah.
local repository.
It works like again a new file, right? Like in the beginning when we made a new file, the same is the case now. It is just working like a new file, right? So what you have to do again, you have to add and commit. But I don't want it. Let's say it's some documentation I have done for the project. So, but still Git will be keep on showing this because I have done Git init in this folder. This folder is a local repository. We did Git init. If you remember, if you see the hidden folders, .git means this Git demo is a local repository. This Git demo is a working directory means whenever you initialize Git, it means that you have instructed Git to version control whatever files present in there. Means Git will be tracking whatever files present in here. Right? Git will not allow this. Means Git will keep on tracking this. Git will keep on asking us to add and commit. But it's a project documentation. First use case. Or else second use case. It might be a log file. You don't need to version control log files, right? Or else it might be some exe generated from the code. Whatever it is. There could be some files which you don't need Git to track. You don't want Git to version control. But Git will keep on version controlling whatever present in this folder because it's a Git local repository. Because that's where Git has, you have initialized Git. So now, how do you tell Git not to track some files, not to track certain files like file2 in our case? In real use case, we'll see this with the real use case also. Here I'm showing you with the sample files. Once we learn Git, we'll be using Git throughout the course to manage our Terraform projects, Kubernetes projects, we'll be using it. I'll show you which files will be, you will be excluding from version controlling like this. So first learn whatever file it is. Later on, we'll see the actual files which you will exclude from version controlling. So now, how do you tell Git to exclude this file from tracking? We should tell Git not to track this file. How to do that? That's where comes the concept called Git ignore. Right? Git ignore is another Git component. It's another file. Just create a file called .git ignore. Okay, create a file called .git ignore and give the file name as file2.txt. Right? So just create a file called .git ignore and give the file names whichever you want to exclude from version controlling. Right? Like file2, I don't want to track this file. So give this file name as file2. Let's suppose you have so many files with extension .log. You may use star.log, like which will ignore all the files which are ending with this extension. Means you may use some while characters if you have multiple files, right? So for now, it's just file2, save it. Now, as soon as you added and saved this file, do you see this is grayed out? Do you notice? These are all the advantages of your VS Code editor. If you just use a normal editor or a notepad, you don't see all of this, right? It's showing that's grayed out. Also, when you do git status, it tells you it's no more bothering about file2, but it was showing us git ignore as untracked because it is after all another file. but this is not tracked anymore. So what you should do now for this file, for untracked git ignore, what we should do? What should we do for untracked files?
Git add and commit.
Git add. Okay. And yeah, you can see here like changes to be committed. Git commit -m. Not file added. Right? If you see the status, that's all. So now from now onwards, it will not track file 2. Understood? So any files or huge number of files or any files with some extension kind of, you can ignore using this git ignore. In real projects, from perspective of DevOps, in Terraform, state files will be ignored. In Ansible, the sensitive, files with sensitive data will be ignored. That's where git ignore can be used. Or in developers projects, some exes, log files can be excluded. Or else from the practical perspective also, like when you're managing the files, the use case, like I told you, the project documentation, all of that comes up. Am I clear and good to go? Or any questions in this part?
Like for example, we have deleted file 1.txt. Is there any possibility of restoring it in a later stage? First question. Second question is, we deleted file 1.txt. Maybe tomorrow I created file 1.txt again. So the earlier yesterday's deleted one will not be available. So what is how it will track these things? No?
If you deleted the file today and if you're creating tomorrow, it just works like a new file. Okay, for one question. And the other one is, if you delete it, yes, it is possible to get the same file back as well. Any more queries? Okay, so till now we made some commits, right? If you want to see the commit history, you have git log one line or git log. So it will show you the commit history. And if you want to undo any particular commit, what is meant by undo? What is the dictionary meaning of undo?
Just reverse.
Revert.
Reversing, right? That's
Yeah.
what undo, you reverse it. So similarly, let's suppose you have created a file. If you undo means, right? So, or else if you have deleted the file, if you undo means, correct. So this is what happens. Similarly, you can undo any particular commit. If you undo, let's suppose there is a commit A. See, I can't write this alphanumeric ID, so I'm referring as A. Some commit ID. Okay, suppose there's a commit ID, and in this commit ID, I have created a file. Okay, when I undo, there is an option to revert. Revert means undo. If I revert this commit, definitely whenever you revert, another commit ID will be generated, new commit ID B. And in this commit, it will be deleted. Means whatever you have done in A will be reversed. Right? Sure, Santosh. Thanks for informing. Feel free to leave and watch the recording, please, if you have something on priority. Dropping the call as need to join P1 bridge. Perfectly all right. Thanks for informing. So, this is A, where you have created the file, and then like it goes to you made some reverted it, new commit ID is generated, and it is deleted. Again, after this, you can commit. Let's say I reverted this C again. This B again. Another commit C is created, and here you will see the file back. Right? Means this C would be at the same state as A. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right. So that's how it works. Let's do this undo, reverting. See, I have taken this commit ID 838. Now I would like to undo. When you undo, what happens? In this commit, you have created ignore file. When you undo, let's see, whenever you undo, it will ask for some message. Like commit message, it will also ask you for revert message. It's in a command mode. Go to insert mode to edit your message. Escape I will take you to insert mode and it will allow you to edit. So now here you can say revert ignore file. Okay, and then save this. Okay, and then git status. Do you see that? File 2 is being tracked again. Why? Why is file 2 being tracked? Because
We
ignore
removed
file is
from
gone.
the
Yeah, because ignore file is gone, this file is being tracked again. And whenever you revert, see a new commit ID is generated. I told you, right? Whenever you revert A, commit B will be generated. See, this is the new commit. You may revert this again. Any commit ID. This is also commit ID. You can revert it again, like git revert this. Again, revert message, go to insert mode, escape I, and then put some message like reverting ignored file again or some message like this and save it. How do you save? Escape colon W. So done. And now if you see the status, see file 2 is not being tracked. Why? If you see the log, another commit ID is generated like commit C. Can you relate to this diagram now? This is commit C. And yes, the file is back, ignore file is back, hence this is not tracked anymore. Am I making sense?
Yes, ma'am. So this looks like a stack, isn't it, ma'am? Where,
Looks like
I mean, it looks like a stack, right? Stack of operations that are listed.
that. It could
Yeah.
be, see, it need not necessarily that you should do all A, B, C. You may stop at B, but just to show you again, bringing it back, I have gone through. See, it's not mandatory. You should first revert, again revert it. It depends on your use case, whether you
Okay.
want it or not. Maybe you want to just undo this, you can revert it. That's it.
Okay.
But
But
again,
as you said yesterday, it takes the topmost command and it starts working on the
no,
thing,
that
right?
is for amending the commit message. You can amend
Okay.
the message, this commit message of only that topmost or the latest commit. But this revert, you can undo any commit.
Oh, we can even pick randomly, say some fifth or the sixth command and do
Yes.
it.
You can revert any commit ID.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
the revert has to be done with regards to that whatever the track ID it has it. You can't do just like that.
Commit ID. Yes.
Sorry, commit ID.
Yeah.
So if you do based on the commit ID, it does the active, but it will not have an impact on the subsequent actions we have done.
It will have. It will have. It depends. Let's suppose I have reverted this. Maybe the next one is dependent on this. It may affect. Means whenever you do revert any random commit ID, it will give you steps of what you should do next. You have to follow those steps. Like let's suppose in this commit, I made a file. In this commit, I edited the file. But when you undo this, this will be affected, right? So whenever you revert such random commit IDs, it will give you the steps what you have to do next. You have to execute those steps.
That's why Git is popular.
Yep. Any more queries? Okay, there is a question from Surya. What is the difference between git rm cache and git revert? Git revert is undoing your committed changes, right? Like see, these are all the commits. In this commit, I may have committed some file 1 changes or multiple changes might be there. Whatever we have done in a particular commit will be reversed. RM cache means it is deleting the file from your local repository, right? Let's suppose in this commit, I deleted the file. When I reverted it, file might be back, but RM cache is not bringing your file back. Isn't it? RM cached will always delete the file from your working directory only, right? Whereas git revert is totally different. It will undo changes happened in a commit. In this commit, I may have created a file. When you do git revert, yes, it is deleting. But let's say in this commit, I have deleted the file. When you revert it, file is coming back. But that's not what RM cache will do. Got it, Surya? RM cache will delete the file from working directory, but still it will keep it in local repository and staging area. That's git RM cache. Git revert, and you pass the commit ID. It will undo whatever changes happened in that commit. Whatever changes, it might be creation, it might be deletion, it might be modifying the file, whatever it is. It will be reversed, undo. Like you have an undo option, right, in the documentation and all. So the same thing happens with revert. And you pass the ID. So that particular ID will be reverted. Right? So that's about revert. I'll show you another interesting command. Can I go ahead? So when I check the log, yes, I have some log history, a bunch of commits happened. And let's suppose I realize that I don't want the latest topmost 4 commits or the latest 4 commits or the latest 6 commits if I don't want them. Or else, in simple terms, there is actually a pointer in Git called head. Head is called a pointer, which will be always pointing to the topmost or the latest commit in that commit history. Let's say I realize that I don't want top 4 commits. Then you can do reset. When you do reset, these 4 commit IDs will be discarded from the log list, as well as whatever changes happened in those 4 will be gone. You may reset first 4 or first 6, whatever be it. Right? And then let's say I reset these 4. Your head will be pointing. This becomes a topmost. And whatever changes happen here can be discarded. What all these commit IDs will also be wiped off from the history. Let me show you. Let's say I want this to be the topmost. So how do you do reset? Git reset hard the commit ID, whichever you want to make it as topmost. Oh, I think something else was copied. Let's say I just want this to be the topmost. Okay, head is now here. Now if you see the log, so you can see 6-4, this is gone. Okay. I mean, this is the topmost. Do you see here? This is the log history. And whatever happened in during these commits were gone. Do you see ignore is gone? All right. They are all removed from the log history as well as whatever changes happened there will be gone. This is one way to reset. There is another way to reset. Let's say I want again to discard these 2. Okay, you can say head tilde as many number of commits you want to discard. Now 8839 will be the topmost. Do you see that? 2 ways to do reset. Understood this? Whichever you want to become the topmost commit ID, you can give that commit ID. Whatever commits you have on top of it will be discarded, will be wiped off completely. Or else head tilde means latest 2 commits will be discarded. Or else head 4, whatever you want. I'm discarding again 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7, 1, 2 will be the topmost. Do you see? This is where we were left with. So where do you use this reset and how beneficial it is? Suppose you're working on a project and you understood that you don't need any changes which you have done from past 1 week. You don't want them at all. So you can do this reset, but this reset is called a powerful and destructive command. Means this should be done very carefully. Let's suppose you have done reset. You can't get them back. There is no chance of getting them back. Changes gone or gone forever. That's why this reset is called as a powerful and destructive command. So you should be very careful. If you are very sure that you don't need these changes, then only you can do reset. Whereas
And
revert is, you can get the changes back. Can you see the differences between revert and reset?
are there any backup and restore possibilities here, man?
Backup and
Restoring the backup in case we did a
not
powerful.
possible. Not possible here. See, git revert, you pass the commit ID. That particular commit ID will be reverted and always new commit ID will be generated. The advantage is you can take that ID and revert again, so you get the changes back, right? Like from A, you go to B again, you do, you revert B, you get C, which is equivalent to A, right? But that's not. Here it is not generating. No new commit ID will be generated. So you can't get the changes back, right? So when you revert, yes, you can get the changes back. You can restore them. You cannot restore them. Also, here any random commit ID can be reverted. Any random commit ID, right? But here successive commit IDs only, like top 5, top 6. That's how successive commit IDs can be reset. Understood the difference? So which one we should use on regular basis? Which is safe?
Reward.
We use regularly revert. Reset is very rarely used. That like if you are very sure that okay, you don't want this bunch of commit IDs, then only you can do reset. That's why it's called as like powerful and destructive. It's not something like on regular basis, daily basis you use it. It will wipe off from the commit history, right? If you wipe off from the commit history, you cannot get them back and it's not generating a commit ID whenever you do reset. So if you don't generate a commit ID for the reset operation, there is no point, there is no chance of getting it back.
Ma'am, I have a question here. May I ask you?
Sure, please.
Okay. So you've very clearly listed the difference between revert and reset, but my question is very basic. So both the commands are doing the undo operation. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Both are doing undo operation, but this is operating on successive CID, and this we can do a random pick, right? Okay. Thank you. Now just to clarify.
Yeah. Any commit ID you can revert, but in reset you can revert means you can reset successive 2, successive 4, right? That's how these commands are. See, like you reset hard top 2, or else reset hard this commit ID means whatever on top of it will be discarded. So it's like successive commit IDs will be discarded. Whereas in revert, this particular, any random commit ID, that particular commit ID only will be reverted, not like on top of them or else on successive commit IDs. This particular ID means whatever changes happened in A38 will be undo. And it will generate a new ID when you run this command. So using that, if you want again, you may revert it again. But these commands will not generate any new commit ID. So changes gone are gone forever. Right? So history command will give you the list of the recent commands, right? You may, I have added all of them in the drive. If you have got access to the drive, you have everything here. Whatever commands we were using were present in here. So the drive, git. Okay, the references, even the presentation, the architectural diagram, you should have this architectural diagram in your mind. So even that was there, references, installation, the commands, whichever we were executing, right? Working directory, staging area, local repository commands, unstage, deleting the files, everything were there to refer. That will help you for your hands-on. Even this was added in the drive, you can refer. Any questions in this part from anyone? So reset hard is very rarely used. Okay. There are also other types of resets, like mixed reset, soft reset, but these are used very rarely or very less. But this is an advanced concept and generally people will have confusion over that. So to make things clear, I just have one tabular format which makes the thing simple. So I just want to show you that. Maybe in case when you need them, this will help you to understand this concept very easily. Otherwise, it would be like a challenging topic. So just let me show you. This diagram will help you understand any sort of reset. Reset, working directory, okay, let me give here. Working directory, staging area, local repository. And hard reset we have seen. Whenever you do hard reset, changes are gone from local repository, staging area, as well as working. So you cannot get the changes back. There are also other types of resets, like soft reset and mixed reset. Right? And if you do soft reset, changes are gone from staging area. Sorry. Okay, changes are gone from local repository, but still changes are present in working directory and staging area. So if you have changes in staging area, is there a way to get back the changes? Yep. Can we get the changes back to local from staging?
Commit.
You
Yeah.
commit and get the changes back, right? So that's a soft reset. And in mixed reset, changes are gone from local repository, staging area, but changes will be present in working directory. Can you get them back?
Yeah, by giving add and commit.
Add and commit, you get them back. So these are the different types of resets.
This was my
That
question,
you
ma'am.
add and
Cascading
commit.
effect. Yeah, I was supposed to ask you answered me before that. Thank you.
Okay. So this is how you can use soft and mixed resets. These are far advanced concepts and generally when we learn this, it will be very much confusing. But this tabular diagram, this tabular chart will help you understand the difference very easily. But we don't use reset on regular basis. But yeah, you may come across such things and this is the simple explanation of soft and mixed resets as well. So that's about revert, reset, and so on. And today we have started with git diff to see the staged and unstaged changes. Diff can also be used to see the changes between the branches. We will also look into it. Then we have looked into git rm cache, git ignore, git revert, git reset. Right? These are the commands we have learned today. And yesterday, like we were talking about git add, git commit, right? Of course, these two are the things we considered yesterday, and these are the commands we discussed today. Any questions from anyone in this part? All good, right? Can I get a quick confirmation? I appreciate your quick responses. Any confusions, any command, any concept in this? Thank you guys for confirming. Now that we understood this part, let's talk about another interesting aspect, the most important and advanced concept in Git. Whenever you do Git status, we were concentrating on it. There is also something like on branch master, right? What is this branch? Isn't it? So this is where the concept of branching, merging, merge with conflicts, without conflicts comes in. So let's talk about the concept of branching in Git, which is very, very important concept. So branch, you can imagine branch like a folder in the Git. In your local, imagine branch is like a virtual directory in your local repository. So whatever changes you make, right, till now, whatever changes you are making are said to be on the master branch. Till now, whatever changes you made are said to be on the master branch. By default, that's a default branch or the main branch. Imagine this is your master branch. Okay, you are making changes here. Let's say you made some changes on file 1, file 2, and let's suppose, okay, this is master and you are working for requirement 1, functional requirement 1. Okay, that's what you are making changes for functional requirement. Let's say client came with another requirement, functional requirement 2. Okay, on the same files, you have to make the changes, but changes may be different, right? So this is how you're making changes. And if you are making changes in the same folder for all the requirements, and let's suppose you have to deliver this or push these changes, functional requirement 1 on June 30th, right? And let's say you want to push this functional requirement 2 on, let's say, maybe for August. So how do you push them separately? Because if you are keeping all the changes in the same folder, at some point of time, it will be very difficult to identify which changes are for requirement 2 or which changes are for requirement 1, correct? Understood the use case problem statement, everyone? So,
ma'am, sorry.
please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. So basically, here is where we see the versions, different versions getting maintained. You
If-
have
If this
June.
is the case, if you are doing everything in the same branch, it's not possible. So what we'll
Okay.
do, instead of making every change in the same folder, we'll make a copy from master. Let's say, let's name it as some feature branch or whatever. The naming we'll talk later. Okay, some name to your branch like B1 or whatever. A copy from master. Copy from master means whatever in master, you'll get those files. But instead of keeping all the changes there, for requirement 2, I'll put the changes here. So that I could maintain multiple releases or multiple versions. This is for August, this is for June, right? So that's where branches comes in, right? You can create a copy of the original one and make changes here and maintain a separate version of it. So branching comes in to maintain the versions or to maintain different environments. Maybe one branch dedicated for prod, one branch for dev and so on, to maintain the environments, to maintain the versions, or else to maintain multiple releases, right? Or else there might be some bug fix, immediate bug fix you need or a hot fix, right? You will create a separate branch for it and deliver, release that or push that branch to remote, right? That's a concept of branching. So in layman terms, if you want me to show you in terms of like in layman terms, just a second. Let's say this is our project folder, right? This Git demo is my project folder. Let's say, let's take a simple example. Suppose I'm writing some story. Yeah, I'm writing some story. Now I have my story here. Now I got an idea or else a different climax to it. So I don't want to mess up the original one. Rather, I would like to right? Rather, I would like to make a separate copy from it, right? So till I make a copy, both are same, right? I just made a copy of it, so both are same. But if I make any changes on demo 2, will it be visible on this one, original one?
No.
And vice versa, right? It is like two parallel entities, two separate entities. And also it's like two versions. I may give some climax here, some other climax here. I'll provide both of them to my publisher, whoever they like whatever they like, they may publish it, or else if they like both of them, they may be publishing them as two separate stories. Am I correct? Same is the case here. Like here, you are making a branch. So you're making a branch. It's a copy till you make a branch. Later on, whatever changes you make on your master will not be visible on B1 and vice versa. They work like two parallel entities to maintain separate versions or to maintain multiple environments or releases, whatever it is. Got it, everyone now? Yep. So that is the concept of branch. You can imagine them like a virtual folders. As of now, whatever changes we were making, whatever files you are creating, everything on set to be on master because that's a default branch. That's a main branch or a default branch, whatever you call it. From then you make changes, like you make a separate branch, make changes there, release it, and that's how it works. Till then, they are like separate. I mean, till then they are, when you make a copy, they are same. From then onwards, they work like a separate or a parallel entities. Also, basically, you can say it allows parallel development. Like I told you, right? Client may come up with different modules or different functionalities. So one could be working on master, another requirement could be worked on B1. So you may go for parallel development. Got it, everyone?
Yeah, got it, ma'am. Just one question is that the first release date is June 30th, second is somewhere in August. So whatever has been done and committed and given to the user, the June 30th is what the deadline. The whatever you're supposed to do for August has to be taken from June 30th final copy, huh? In case if it is to be amended to the
You
new
are
version.
creating a branch means it's a copy of everything. Just now we discussed, right? You are creating a copy. Whatever present in will be present in here. It
That
may
is
not, it may, I understood like until June 30 if you want, then make a copy after June 30. Right? Only after June 30 you will get the changes.
yeah,
Then
okay.
if you create a branch, your branch will have all the changes till 30th. Here the point is parallel development. I don't want all changes till June 30th. Maybe I just need whatever it is now. Let's say it's a June 10th or 12th. Let's say I just want to changes till this much only. So rather than continuing both the requirements here, on June 12th, if I make a separate branch, I get the base. On that base, I would develop FR2. On that base, FR1 will be developed. If you have the use case like only you need all the changes till June 30th, you have to wait and then create a branch.
Oh, got it. Got it.
So parallel development, multiple versions, multiple environments, releases could be maintained. Even like in reality, there will be a master branch or main branch, which is a dedicated stable branch for prod. There will be other branches named as dev branch or release branch or staging branch, and developers or anyone like will make changes on this branch. First, check this, build a pipeline from here. If it is working fine, they will push those changes to release and then release will be built. If it is working fine, those changes will be pushed to master branch. So that's how it works. Anyway, how do you push changes from one branch to another? That comes in merging and all. We'll learn, but just this is the concept of branch. And as of now, like I told you, there will be a default branch, main branch. Whatever changes you make till now are set to be on master branch. Only one branch is there. You can also check that with the command git branch. It will list the branches available, only one branch. Now, let's say I want to create a separate branch, make changes there. So that's the hands-on. And another thing is, branches are of two types. Like you may maintain your branch for a permanent purpose, like if you want to maintain environments like dev, stage, and all. Or else your branch could be a temporary one. Maybe I don't want to mess up the actual one. I may work on some branch. If it is good, then I may integrate them back to it and delete this temporary branch. So you may maintain branches for permanent or temporary branches. How to delete, how to integrate changes from one branch to another, later on deleting it, all of that we'll see, which comes under branching, merging concepts. Understood? Any questions? We will start with this hands-on tomorrow. Okay, we'll start with this hands-on branching tomorrow. Meanwhile, go through the hands-on on whatever topics we have done. Okay, go through the recording, go through the drive. do your hands-on, also go through the website, go through the quiz and interview questions on regular basis. That will help your learning simple. People say that it's a huge course. How do you cover in 2 months? Right? Still, you might be having questions. With a designed structured pattern, we can cover whatever is required for the projects. Okay, when we have clarity on what is needed and what we should concentrate, that makes the course simple. Also, you shouldn't pile up the things till towards the end. Okay, on regular basis, if you do the hands-on, everything will be possible. So please follow the instructions. Make it a mandatory to do the hands-on before you join the next class. So if you follow this, definitely it is possible and you could reach your goal. Any more queries? And if you see, also I would like to mention, if you have watched the content or the sessions, the content would be like clear and straightforward and the content would be crisp. No lagging or else no unnecessary topics or deviations, which is not required, right? We were focusing the complete session on the content and the sessions are going to be productive. That's how we could gain the we could have fruitfulness from the sessions. Also expecting you to do the hands-on. Any more queries from anyone?
Ma'am, what about resume building actually in terms of after completion of this course?
We'll help you with resume building, Rahul. You can reach out to us with if you're already experienced, you can share your resume. On top of it, how you to modify and all, we'll help you with that.
Okay.
All right then, if no questions, we'll close here. Thank you
Ma'am,
all.
Ma'am, I have a question about the shared folder.
Mm.
So on my email box, I find a shared folder. Is that the one that I need to access? Like that has come a while ago. So do you think that you need to share something latest to me?
I'm not sure which email you received, Rekha.
Okay.
But like once you are registered, you will get a drive link. It's a Google Drive link, right? For all the
Okay.
registered candidates, you will get it. So if you have registered, yes, you should get that drive link. If not, you can connect with Raj. His number is on the website, right? You can connect with him and he can provide you with all the access.
Okay. Thank you.
All right then. Good day. See you all tomorrow. Bye everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.